In the Bible, we see constantly the Israelites that left Egypt on the way in the desert saying, "Oh my God, we hate being in the desert. At least when we are in Egypt, we are happy. At least in Egypt we knew what to expect. At least in Egypt we have some kind of comfort." If slavery was so terrible, why would the slaves always remind themselves that slavery was so good? Let's try to understand the difference between being a slave and not being a slave. Being a slave, they had all the food that they needed. That's why they survived so long. They had a roof over their head. Just that they have to work and work and work and do not prosper. What seems to be the biggest problem in slavery was the fact that people could not attain wealth and keep their wealth. Interesting enough, we live in a time where supposedly we are all free people. But are we? If the only difference that we had between slavery and no slavery that was so representative was the fact that they were working. I mean, when they got to Israel, they have to work too. When they got to Israel, they have to start from nothing. So the problem with slavery is that you do not have the ability to thrive. You don't have the ability to prosper. In order for you to survive in the future and not have to work the rest of your life as a slave, the minimum amount of money you need to have saved is 30 times your income. I would recommend more because you want to endow yourself. You want to make sure that you have for covering for any unpredicted expenses and inflation and mistakes. But the minimum is 30 times. But most of the people in our generation are not just able to save a penny, they still go in debt. We live in a generation that is not so much different than the generation from the Bible. We have an entire generation volunteering to be slaves, exchanging their ability to prosper and live in God's cycle in exchange for immediate gratifications. Maybe some people have income problems. Most have outgo problems. And I bet the majority has both problems. Detect what your problem is. Get yourself out of your Egypt. Cross your desert. Because I will tell you something. The promised land is absolutely amazing and is waiting for you. Shalom, shalom.